right, welcome to the Great Minds Podcast. This is Derrick.
This is Vaughn.
We got a very special guest today, Che Noir. How you doing today?
What's up? How y'all doing?
We good.
Good. Appreciate your time.
Pleasure to have you on. So brief introduction. We got Che representing Buffalo, New York, originally from Niagara Falls. Dope MC. Album.
No, I'm from Buffalo. I'm repping the whole 716 area, but I'm from Buffalo.
All right.
Yeah.
Album As God Intended on July 10th with Apollo Brown. So thanks for checking in with us today.
I appreciate y'all.
All right, so let's get into your start. What got you into rap? What made you want to rap? What made you want to be an MC?
Well, I started rapping when I was 16. I had a friend from high school who taught me how to make beats when I was 15. So when I learned how to make beats, I started rapping like a year later. Once I started rapping, it took me like a few years to really take it serious. But once I got the hang of it, the swing of it, I kind of just dived into it fully. I built a studio out in Buffalo. And that's where I recorded my first mixtape at. And just kind of like went from there and just kept building.
All right, no doubt. So I know being a female MC, it seems like, I know we in 2020, but it's always like a hurdle you got to go through. So do you remember the first person that you had to actually hammer and battle and let them know that you were serious? Do you remember when that happened or whoever challenged you?
Oh, like a battle? I never, people try to get me into battle rapping, but I always heard from other people telling me not to do it, so I never really was no battle rapping person.
I got you.
I didn't have people from the town that then try to do like little challenges with me, like little disses here and there. I never responded to none of them because I just didn't feel like it was worthy of me responding at the time.
Right.
So
that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. I always thought that because it seems like always, when you're nice, because you're nice, right? It seems like when the female is nice at something, guys especially always try to poke at the bear. Just try to see how nice that person is. So that's why I thought I asked that.
Yeah, they be the main ones poking. They don't even be the girls. They be the ones poking them up.
Exactly.
Like, yo, y'all need to chill.
Definitely.
Are
you still doing production?
Yeah, I don't do it as much, but I'm still trying to get back into it.
Okay.
I may make a beat like once a month or something.
Yeah. So I know between you and the Griselda movement, how is it that how do you feel that Buffalo's like a hot spot in rap? Like that even sounds like crazy to say, but I feel like between you, Benny and Conway and Westside, I got New York on fire right now. How do you feel about being a part of that movement? It's
dope because I actually I was a kid. I mean, Benny and them, they got me by like maybe 10, 12 years. Like I'm the baby kind of.
You little sis in that group?
Yeah. So, but like they used to have this studio in Buffalo on Parkside. What the fuck? On Parkside, in Buffalo. I used to live like kind of right around the corner. So like when I used to get up and walk around like to the store over there, I used to see, just like everybody going in and out of that studio. This is back when Benny had braids and shit. Like I seen kind of like how like kind of like his grind up. So it's dope just seeing that. Just to see how far they came. I mean, Benny came. I had another studio out here in the Falls. Benny came out here and recorded the Tyson song, the verse for that, back in like 2015. I think it was like 2016, 2015. And like even then, this was before he signed his Griselda deal. Before they got the Shady Records deal, and like just seeing how far they've all come collectively, as a group, how far they've came, together. It's inspiring as hell. So it kind of just keep us going, and just to see how far I've came in just a year. I've only really been in this industry for a year, even though I've been doing it longer than that, but I haven't really had it's been like a year since I had my introduction to it. So just to see how far I've came is just dope.
No doubt. I was going to ask you, how did you, if you don't mind elaborating, how did you get in with Trust Gang? how did that form and how you start running with those guys?
Well, I had one out. I mean, to make a long story short, I flew out to Chicago to record an EP with a producer out there. The EP didn't end up working out the way I wanted it to, but I still had a single from the EP. I ended up putting a single out, and I sent it to Special's personal Facebook page. And when I sent it to him, he got right back. You know, he got back to me right away and told me that he wanted me to come out to Rochester for a meeting. So Rochester is like an hour. It's an hour and a half away from the falls, but I was in Buffalo at the time. It's like an hour away from there. So me and my cousin just drove up there, and we had a meeting. And he told me that first meeting that he wanted me to be a part of the team.
That's dope. That's dope. You know, one thing I want to say too, I love the unity that you guys have up there, because it seems like to me, you know, coming from down the 5 boroughs, we didn't have that much unity in the city like that. You know, so to see you guys up there in West New York doing your thing, and you're kind of all together, you mean like it's like a movement. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's kind of moving together, which is dope. It reminds me how like the South did it and how Atlanta did it with their movements, Houston with their music movement. So like you said, I think that's real dope that you guys, you know, still you guys connected.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Yeah, it's definitely like a family.
Yep. Who inspired you? Like I listened to the song 94. You said you were born on the day Illmatic was released.
Yeah.
And you said like Foxy was your favorite rapper, right?
Yeah.
And you were inspired by Lauryn Hill. I hear a little bit more than Lauryn Hill. Obviously, their styles are like totally different. What did you like about both of them?
Well, Foxy had that street persona of her, that more gritty, grimy side of her that I just loved, and it was more of what I was doing at the time when I was listening to her, like when I was younger. You know, just being a kid in the projects, like that's, you know, more of who I was listening to. With Lauryn Hill, though, it just was, it was something different with her. Like she,
Lauryn Hill's like that. She's like that big sister that does all the right things.
Just like the knowledge, the knowledge and knowledge of self. Like it was different for me. So when I got introduced to both, like Foxy had more of that street grittiness that I loved, but Lauryn had that intellectual side that I was like, oh, this is different on some like mental type shit. So yeah,
because I hear a lot more of that in your rap than Foxy, but I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying on that though.
Yeah, I mean with my music. Oh, go ahead.
No, after you.
I mean, yeah, like with my music, I grew up around a lot of OGs type people. Like I got a lot of jewels passed down to me young. I was very mature for my age because I really had to grow up kind of early. So it was a lot of jewels and things that was being taught and fed into me early. And that's a lot of the reason why my music is the way it is now, you know.
Okay.
I'm like jewel bar heavy with it.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
Yep. I was going to ask you as far as like your upbringing. I know it's in your music too. I can't remember the actual song, but you had a bar. I'm going to paraphrase it, where you basically said like you pray and you're going to need your man to pray too. You know, you said it in that way. So how big is religion for you? You know?
You gotta have, I mean, I'm big on it because I'm a very spiritual person. Like I believe in God. You know, I'm the type of person, I pray multiple times a day. You know, these are things that I do, so I would like to be with someone who does those things as well.
Absolutely.
You know, just that spiritual compatibility with someone.
And I think that's why you're so dope, because a lot of MCs too, but especially you, people are really just showing their true selves. You know what I'm saying? So like you saying like, I believe in God, I pray, I want my mate to do the same. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, people wasn't saying that. It was like, out of mind, I'm going to put out what I want you guys to like and see, but you put more yourself out there, which I think is why you're successful.
Yeah, it's just being just about that level of comfortability, like, you know what I'm saying, authentic, being your authentic self, I should say. You know, where you were, okay, me saying things like that, you know, shit that they not saying in songs, but I'm just giving you me. That's where I'm at. These are conversations and discussions I have with my friends about spirituality, and you know what I'm saying. These are things that we talk about. So I'm gonna put that in my music.
Yeah, that's dope. And I think that makes you come across as authentic too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you could do that, it's kind of like take me or leave me. You know, you don't have to get big and switch up on people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've been the same way day one. So one thing I noticed about all of your music, like you don't put yourself on the covers. Are you big into art?
I am. I got into like the like kind of the stone statue art.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like what I did with Thriller the Hunt too. Like my friend, he's like my graphic designer. He's done all my covers. The only cover he didn't do was As God Intended.
Mm-hmm.
But he's really into all of that too. And just being around him, it kind of rubbed off on me. So that's what made me kind of like, I won't say I'm not deep in, like, you know, I don't have a passion towards it, but I definitely like some artful, colorful, playful type
Is
things,
that
you know?
in the Thriller Hunt too? Is that you holding the competition?
What, and oh yeah, that's definitely me. That's me.
I'm on it, and I felt it. I'm like, all right, I can dig it. That's dope.
Nah, that's a fact.
Nah, definitely too. And one thing I like about you as well too, as listening to your music, that people know, but people might not know that you're college educated. You know what I'm saying? You have your degree. You know what I'm saying?
I went to school.
Exactly, and that's something that either, you know, it's funny because you can hear it in your rhymes too. And I tell people this too, like when people, you know, I'm not saying college is everything. I'm not saying that. But when you listen to people's wordplay, a lot of the top rappers have higher education, you know, some form of fashion.
That's a fact.
You go to big.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not always college. It could be like Nas himself reading a lot, but look at Nas reading a lot. You know what I'm saying? When he says, go as far back as Cannabis, right? Cannabis talking about some crazy stuff, but that's because he, you know, he had the education to talk about it. So how
you gotta
big?
expand your mind.
Definitely. Yep. So how did that play a part? You know, did that kind of, as you went to college, did that kind of put your career on hold till you finished that, or were you still dabbling in it a little bit and wait till you graduated to really fully pursue it?
No, I wasn't serious about music when I was in school. Like I had a whole plan mapped out. I said I'm gonna go to school. I wanted to. I was in the communication. Actually, I started doing like psychology. I wanted to be a psychiatrist.
Okay.
Can you guys still see me? Because I was getting a phone call. Hold on.
Not yet.
Blacking out.
Black out, but we can hear you though.
Okay. I was what was I saying? I wanted to be a psychiatrist, but that didn't really work out for me. So I ended up switching this to communications, and I was gonna go to, you know, I had this whole plan of going to be a news anchor, and you know, I had it all mapped out. I was gonna get a big house, have a little business on the side, doing something. But music just kind of fell in my lap. I started building a studio like maybe my last month of school, and we put all this money into the studio. I was like, shit, like, we might as well, you know, go full-fledged with it. So, and it's crazy because like I used to go to the studio all night and then get up and go to class at like 8 o'clock in the morning, go to class from like 8 to 5 or 8 to 8 in the morning to 8 at night, and then go back to the studio that night and sit up in the studio all night. I sleep between classes and shit. Like, we've
been there.
But I still didn't really see like, I don't know if I could really do nothing off of this. But I started putting out freestyles and stuff, and people was telling me like, yo, you hard, you got to keep going. So I kind of developed a passion. Once I realized that I didn't really want to work for nobody, I started seeing that, you know, I mean, I've always been passionate about music, but this whole idea of working for somebody my whole life just didn't fit well with me. So I kind of just, you know, I was working on the side, but I built another studio out in the falls, and I just started diving in and going full time with it. And just kind of like went from there. But like, as far as like with school, I mean, there's some jewels and gems and things that I learned from school. I mean, I think the biggest thing with school for me was I was the first person in my family to graduate from college. And that was a big deal for me. I got sisters that seen that and decided, okay, they want to go to school. I got nieces. I got little cousins that say, okay, I want to go to school now. You did it. Like, so that was something that I kept and carried with me. And the fact that I finished school, I was going through all kind of personal stuff in school. I had to drop out semesters, then I got kicked out of school, like all kind of stuff. So just to see myself make it, it took me like 6 years, but to make it, and you know what I'm saying, to make it through and actually come out with a degree, that was fire to me.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely
that's
it. And you're definitely going to use that. I'm glad you're doing the rap thing because you're great at that. But you're going to use that degree as time goes in the future. So I'm glad you did it. I always think college personally, and Derrick could probably say the same thing. I feel like college is something that helps you get prepared for the world. So you're around different groups of people. You know how to manage your time. It's kind of what you kind of grow up a little bit. I think you grow up more in college than if you weren't going to college for uncertain people.
It does something to you, especially when you're a kid who don't come from that type of background. Like, nothing towards kids who have parents and, a family full of college graduates, but I didn't come from that.
Yeah.
I had to really, I paid out of pocket for everything. I don't come from a family of money, you know what I'm saying? A family of colleges. So that was something big just for me, like to accomplish that was a big deal for me. So
definitely.
All right, so we want to get into the new project with Apollo Brown, as God intended. Apollo Brown, I got up on maybe around 2016. Sky Zoo is one of my favorite rappers. We had him on a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you knew that, but anyway, we had him on. I had that album in my top 20, The Joint, The Easy Truth, with Apollo Brown. So that was my introduction to him. So anything Apollo Brown is connected to, I'm all in. So
yeah, he's super dope.
I saw your joints, and no cap in here, you 4 for 4 out of the 4 singles I heard.
For real.
So I'm
I appreciate that.
I'm like,
I appreciate that.
Anybody that could spit and you combine that with what he can do, it's going to be some phenomenal work. So hopefully the rest are like that. I believe in it because I believe in your music. How did you link up with Apollo Brown? How did that happen?
He hit me up through Facebook. Like, he's a fan of my music.
That's
he
huge.
he was a fan of Thriller the Hunt too. And he was like, yo, I gotta work with her. And it's crazy, when he hit me up, he damn near had all the beats ready. He just had to sit with them for a minute. But we started working. He sent me the first batch. Like, this was like maybe September, October of last year. And he sent me like 5 at a time, and I would take my time. I actually took my time with this album. And even like when I go back and listen to it, and now, because we've been done with this album, I went out in March to record it. So I took like some months writing it. Like, I took my time with it. I rewrote mad stuff. Like, it was different. But I just listened to it, and you can listen and tell, like, this is it for me.
So just real quick, how do you get a Black Thought feature so early? I mean,
my question. That was my question.
I'm still trying to figure out how I pulled that off.
like if you wanted to put this out and retire, you good, because Black Thought is like, he's a god level MC, masterclass, whatever you wanna call him. So how did you pull that one off? 1 and 2, how did you guys record together? Sent them a track? How did that work out?
Well, when I recorded this album, I had got back. This was in March. I got back, touchdown in Buffalo. This was maybe a few days before they put before the virus hit, I should say.
Okay.
And once the virus hit and they started shutting everything down, it was dead for all of that going into the studio with people. So, I really, Apollo just reached out to him and, asked him, like, if you're able to get into the studio, check her out. She's a dope rapper, but if you're able to get in, if she'd love a verse, we'd love to get a verse from you. And he hit me up on Instagram and told me he had heard my verse and was like, yo, fire.
You was probably geeking.
Just show me love. Yeah, that joint was crazy. I was like, whoa. He was like, I'm about to hop on the joint, man. Keep moving. We need your voice. And just show me love. But when I heard the verse back, I went crazy. I was like, oh, hey, he killed it. Like, it's perfect. The song, like, it from my verse to the hook to his verse, and it from the beat, production, it was perfect.
Yeah.
perfect. So that was a surreal moment for me. Like again, I'm still early in my career, and for me to get a Black Thought feature, that was a big deal for me.
Well, you good to retire after this. You
Bro,
good.
you good. You good.
I'm good. I got one more I gotta get first. I got one more, and it's everybody know which one. You know, the highly anticipated feature, but I'm
Raps.
gonna get that. Oh yeah. I
Oh
already got
yeah.
that, though.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love rap.
Yeah, we love Rhapsody too.
You know, it's funny. I was gonna say, like, for me, I'm a huge fan of Rhapsody. So what I want, and I have my own vision of what I want for you guys. I'm thinking you and Rhapsody, half Knife Wonder, half Apollo Brown, and then I'm done.
Like a whole project?
A whole project.
I'm
Knife
dead.
do half of the beats, Apollo do half of the beats, and that'll just be crazy. That's just me. I'm putting it out there.
Yeah. That'd be hard. That'd be hard, man. I'm speaking that into existence.
Let's
For
go.
real.
Man, that's a fact. I'm speaking that into existence. That's hard. That's dope.
It's-
Has
it's-
it been any female collab hip hop projects?
Not that I know of. Because you know what I think it is? I think for Tom, and I was going to say, the fact that I love about you, you can hear the enthusiasm in your voice, the love for it in your voice, how you get excited about it, which I think is what we need. A lot of people, they don't sound like that with certain things. But I think what they try to do in the industry, they try to put females against each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
For years.
why. I have no idea why they do this. And I think it's male dominated. So maybe they're like, you know what? We got to have Nicki got to be beefing with so-and-so. You know, Foxy got to beef with Kim. They can't never, if the female rappers came together, couldn't stop them.
Man, we be killing it. They trying to put me against some girl. It's a chick from the town that raps. She can spit. But the nigga is trying to put me against her. I'm like, yo, I actually fuck with this girl. She dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? We done reached out to each other, talk, all of that. Like, and now all of a sudden people trying to get in her ear. And I'm like, this shit corny. Like, no, we stand a better chance uniting, like working together. Us working against each other ain't gonna never get nowhere.
Or sometimes we are, as the males, we are the worst. I say that right now. I say that we all.
Yeah, y'all be pushing it. I'll be like, yo, it don't even be the girls. Yeah. I'm like, y'all want me to beef everybody, not y'all, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Like I can't just like her. We can't have mutual respect.
I'm trying to get my bars off.
Now, Devin, so I was gonna ask you too. So basically, besides Black Thought, right? Where was like your aha moment when you were doing it, right? And you said, like, I made it. Like I'm in there. Like I'm getting where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was that one moment? Was it the mixtape that dropped? Was it the first time someone acknowledged you that you didn't know about? The first show? You know, like, when did it hit you?
It was the Black Thought, but I think I mean, after I dropped Through the Hunt too, I think that project wasn't even out for a full month. And I was getting a lot of media attention. Like, they mentioned me on Everyday Struggle, Joe Button podcast. Like, I was like, okay, I'm doing something right. But then fast forward a year, I got this Apollo Brown project. And, you know, I got a Black Thought feature. That was like, whoa. Okay, I'm doing something right. I'm really doing something right. Like,
facts.
So I don't know. You know, and even just listening to this album, I'm like, you know, I don't like to speak too early and put labels on albums because I let the fans decide all of this. This is something I can see being talked about 10, 20 years from now. Like this album, just like just how diverse the content is and how comfortable I am in the production, and it's just me. It's so me. So,
you know, I wanted to add too, D, real quick. What I noticed about the whole Western New York sound, it takes me back to 94, 95, 96, right? It seems like everybody that comes out is on that same wavelength with the beats, the lyrics, and the lyrics really matter. Like every bar, it's no waste in the bar. Now, how did that, because it seems like you guys kept that alive, but even in the 5 boroughs, even in Jersey, they try to switch it up and start sounding like they're from Atlanta, start sounding like other places. But you guys seem to never do that. You just kept in your lane, and it kind of came all the way back around. So now it's like real, I'm not going to say real hip-hop because I hate to use that word because it's all subjective. But like the sound I'm used to hearing that I grew up on, I'm hearing again. It's like how you guys keep that going and not switch up at all?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just still a lot of bullshit going on up here. Like, I think Wayno mentioned it on Everyday Struggle. Like, you know, it's nothing here in upstate New York. Like, we don't have record label and headquarters and A&Rs coming to our shows. And, you know, a lot of people were scared to even come to Buffalo for the longest. Like, I done had showcases that done got shot up. Like, you know, the drugs are still, like, bad up here. We still in a gritty griminess of this shit. So, I don't know. It could be just that come, like, you know, that coming out of us. I mean, I can only speak for myself. I grew up on all this type of music. So, you know, when this is something that you are constantly listening to, it's going to spill out in your, and you know, whatever you do, and it's spilling out in my music. And just, you know, I've always been good at, not expressing myself, but I've always been good at turning how I feel and putting it down on paper and turning it into a rap. Like, even when I wasn't taking music serious, anything, like I remember this might have been, I probably was like a teenager. I wrote a Mother's Day, I gave my mom a Mother's Day card, but I wrote a poem in there.
Okay.
And I remember, and I spit the poem to my mom, and she just was like, "You raw, you different, girl." It was like a Mother's Day, but just on some like pain shit, like just telling her like, I appreciate you. You know, my mom is a single parent for the most part, so you know, just telling her I appreciate her, but on some rapping type shit. And I don't know, like that's the music I grew up on. Like, my mom played a lot of DMX.
There we go.
Pac,
Pac,
Biggie. Yep. I grew up on Mary J. Blige. Like, I grew up on like a diverse group of people. And then, you know, I was really raised under a roof full of boys, and I used to hear them playing whatever they was playing. I was listening to it. They was playing a lot of Beanie Siegel, G Unit, just a lot of different like niggas that was talking about something. So, you know, when you grow up listening to that, it spills out in your music.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. With your age bracket, we're a little bit older than you. We probably around Benny's age in that group. Who do you listen to? Who do you listen to?
Now?
Like, who you listen to now? Like, who do you who's dope to you?
I really fuck with Lil Baby. I like Lil Baby.
Okay. Who loves Lil Baby? That's his guy.
Oh, man, that's my guy.
Lil Baby, he got the hardest album of this year so far to me. Like, I only play his album. I only been really playing his album, man. Like, he talking about some shit.
I
gotta give it a shot. You know what I said for my favorite younger rapper. I won't call him a young boy like I'm sunning him, but my favorite younger rapper is YBM Cordae. Like, I think he can go.
Oh, see, I ain't got into him.
Yeah, he's got like a little J. Cole in him, but like he's on. I don't know. Maybe he's like 21, 22. I know you locked in with your album, but give him a look. You got a joint with Anderson .Paak, Meek. You got
okay, that's dope.
Yeah,
well,
I'm gonna check him out.
Yeah,
like Shay said, I said the Lil Baby album is one of the best albums of the year. I've been saying that, and everybody thinks I'm crazy. I'm like, the album, the kid got something to say. He got something to say in it. He can flow, and you can tell the pain in the songs. You can tell his pain. Like, you can see what. To me, I feel it. You know what I'm saying? And
every song.
He literally said that before you got on.
Every song. You know, another rapper I like too. I like NBA YoungBoy. I think he hard.
Okay, I never heard him. He mentioned him
too.
I'm listening to. See,
NBA YoungBoy got some pain. He got his own little story. It's dope though. Like, he's telling his story. He's dope.
But you know
of course, J. Cole and Kendrick. But you know, just outside of that, I mean, J. Cole and Kendrick are like the two GOATs of this generation.
Absolutely, that's a fact.
Yeah,
you know what's crazy though? Ever since being a young kid, I always listen to different type of music all the time. So like, when Outkast came out, I was on Outkast in 95 when I was like 13, 14. Everyone's like, who are these dudes? I'm like, they hot, they hard. And I was always like, I was into Bones Thugs and Harmony. Like I thought they were hard, so I was always listening to stuff. So when I hear when I listen to music, I listen to it differently. So I'm like, all right, let me check out NBA YoungBoy to see what people are saying. You know what I'm saying? To really listen to it, because if you have a following, somebody's checking for you.
Right.
So I want to know why. And like Lil Baby, I'm like, that's why I got it. Like I understand.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I won't hold you too long. A couple more things. Who's outside of raps? Who's a bucket list feature? I know you got one. You got Black Thought already. We're gonna push it a little further. Who you got?
You gonna talk
outside of rap?
Yep.
Like outside of
outside of Rhapsody. Okay. I mean, I don't really. It's not really a lot of people I want to work with. I mean, it'd be dope to work with certain, like with J. Cole and them, but it's not really a lot that I want to work with. You know, like Rhapsody is like definitely one person I definitely want to connect with one day. I would love. I know she don't do music no more. I love to do a joint with Jean Grey.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
That'll be tough.
I love to do a joint with Jean Grey. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not really a lot of people that I want to work with. Like, it's just all about, like, at the time, like, you know, as I keep progressing, where my sound is at and who fits it the most. Like, you know, with that Black Thought song, Black Thought fit that song so well. And, you know, he's always, I think I mentioned him last year. I would love to do a feature on him. So absolutely. I said I got one down. I got one down, maybe like 3 more to go, like with Rhapsody. I would love to work with Jean Grey, but I don't think she really do music like that no more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the only person I can really think of. Like, you know.
Shay, we are big believers in talking things to existence, right? So we do it all the time. We'll talk about it, and I feel like if you put it in the atmosphere, you can obtain it, right? So we're gonna put that in the atmosphere. Everything you want to talk, anybody you want to work with, you're gonna work with, and plus, you so hot, they're gonna come to you. It's gonna be all the way around. So where you're like, you're like, oh, that person, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of people are gonna be exposed to it. And after I heard some of your music, I hit Vaughn like, yo, we gotta try to get her on. And it was dope that you were real responsive. So I think it's dope that you connect with fans, and you know, we're happy to have you on. So all right, we wrap up with basically a rapid fire session. It could be like a this or that, or we'll ask you a question that we just need to answer for. Whatever you can come up with, you come up with. So you ready to roll?
Nothing too tricky, probably.
Nothing too crazy.
So wait, how this working? It's like a trivia game or something?
Nah, it'll just be like a this or that, or
this or that.
Yeah, I got you. You ready?
We got you.
Like, yeah, I got you.
All right. Illmatic or It Was Written?
It was written for me.
Yeah, that's me too.
That's me too.
Yeah. It was written hands down for me.
Yeah. Same.
No doubt. All right. The Source or XXL?
The Source, because XXL is trash now. Yeah.
Right, I got another one. What's your favorite Foxy Brown song?
Promise.
Okay.
Or If I. Between Promise and If I.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
All right. So mine's in the same vein. What's your favorite Lauryn Hill track?
Nothing Even Matters.
That's
probably yeah.
I got
Nothing Even Matters, or X Factor.
I was gonna say that X Factor. X Factor is mine, hands down.
I love Zion.
Yeah, that whole album.
Yeah, Zion. Zion. Yeah, it's too many to decide.
All right, one last one. If you could add a verse to any song from all that great albums that came out in '94, what would it be?
Add a verse? Oh, I would add a verse on Give Me the Loot. That'd be hard. I come on my female perspective, like street girl, gritty type shit. Man, that should be hard.
You could do it, throw it in your IG stories, and you lit.
You would.
Man,
It ain't gotta be
now
official.
you got some ideas flowing now.
See, that's what we're here for.
That's what we
we're
here
hard.
for real. So my last one. Who's your favorite actor or actress?
I mean, of course, Denzel. I like Viola Davis too. I think she mad.
Yeah, she go
She
hard.
dope. She dope.
Yeah,
Alright.
Her range is crazy.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
The one thing I wanted to ask before we got out of here though, was just like for your future. We know we have the album with Apollo Brown coming up, but what do you see your future aspirations being? You know, past 2020.
I mean, I got some business ventures, like, of course, investing into real estate.
Definitely.
Just because I live in two areas, Buffalo, New York. I mean, Buffalo and Niagara Falls, where, especially Niagara Falls, like the whole damn Niagara Falls damn near for sale.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very impoverished city because it's so small, and it's not really any money flowing through here. But I feel like because I kind of know what to do, I can definitely get some spots here. And then Buffalo too, is a lot of property for sale out there. I want to get into film at some point. That's what I was in communications for, media production.
Okay.
I would love to direct a film. And just keep building off of my music. I mean, the music gonna keep going, but I always look like for side hustles, kind of securing that generational wealth, because I can't do it just through music. So the smarter thing to do is take the money you make from that and invest it on the side. That properties and starting businesses is how you secure that generational wealth and just keep passing it down.
Fact.
Well, I think you're gonna be successful whatever you do. Whatever you do, you're gonna be successful. Just the way you seem to be very focused, and wish you nothing but luck.
Yeah, you definitely ahead of your time. And I'm gonna check out that little baby.
Yeah, check that out.
Little baby
You're
album.
gonna be lit off that joint.
For real.
Man, that little baby album make you it just make you want to get money. Like I love music like that, man. Make you want to get money.
Yeah.
You run up a check listening to that.
You saying everything that I've been telling him, like everything. So that's coming from someone else besides me. See,
I'm on it. I'm on it. All right. So you want to shout out your social media website and everything?
Yeah. Instagram and Twitter, Che_Noir, CHE_NOIR.
All right. So, thanks for joining us. You can find the Great Minds Podcast on IG at the Great Minds Podcast, YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Che Noir, appreciate having you.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all having me. Y'all take care.